The Israelites forge. God Judges 1:1. 3:11 After Joshua was dead, the Israelites remembered their promise to obey God. God had commanded them to drive the heathen out of Canaan. When the Israelites fought against their heathen neighbors, God helped them. Their enemies were afraid because God was with the Israelites. After a time, the Israelites got tired of fighting. Perhaps they wanted to rest and enjoy their new land. Maybe they planned to take just a short rest before going back to battle. But while they rested, they made friends with their idol-worshipping neighbors. Time passed and the Israelite children grew up with the heathen children. When they were older, many Israelites married heathen men and women. Because they wanted to please their husbands and wives, the Israelites bowed down to idols and worshipped them. Little by little, the Israelites forgot their promise to serve the one true God. Though the Israelites forgot, God did not. He sent a messenger to tell them, "I brought you out of slavery in Egypt, and you promised." God speaks to Samuel I Samuel 2:22-3:18 Now Eli had two sons who were priests. They did many things that displeased God. Because Eli's sons did so much wrong, the good people of Israel dreaded to go to Shiloh with their offerings. Even though Eli knew his sons did wrong, he still allowed them to serve as priests at the tabernacle. He tried to get them to change their ways, but they would not listen to him. Then God sent a prophet to warn Eli about his sons' wrongdoing. The prophet said the sons would be punished. Because Eli let them serve as priests, he would be punished too. No longer would the high priest be a member of Eli's family. After the prophet went away, God spoke to Samuel one night. Samuel did not know it was God speaking. When he heard a voice calling him, he thought it was Eli. Quickly Samuel got up out of bed and ran to Eli. "Here I am," he said, and he waited for Eli to say what he wanted. The tent where God lived among his people may seem strange that the Israelites, after all that God had done for them, and while Mount Sinai was still showing God's glory, should fall away from the service of God to the worship of idols, as we read in the last story. But you must keep in mind that all the people whom the Israelites had ever met, both in Canaan and in Egypt, were worshippers of images, and from their neighbors the Israelites also had learned to bow down to idols. In those times, everywhere people felt that they must have a God that they could see. God was very good to the Israelites after they had forsaken him, to take them again as his own people, and God gave to the Israelites a plan for worship, which would allow them to have something that they could see to remind them of their God, and yet at the same time, would not lead them to the worship of an image, but would teach them a higher truth, that the true God cannot be seen by the eyes of men. The plan was this, to have in the middle of the camp of Israel house to be called, the house of God, which the people